Good morning, traders. So still using the Bull-Williams theory, and we're looking at the Dow Jones at the moment. So I still have levels drawn in from yesterday, and you can see we pretty much tagged all the levels to downside that I had in, and the question mark in my mind right now is, do we have the potential of a exhaustion bar here? So we don't really have any daily diversions. I suppose you could call it a double bottom at the moment. And you can see here was a previous double bottom on diversions, and then we rallied. So we do have a potential double bottom between there and there, whereas price is making a new low, low, new low. So what I want to do is, well, sorry, before we get there, the thing that concerns me is the fact that this level here of 23,616 has broken. So we did get through it. We didn't break it and close below it, but we did pierce it on the daily. So that basically just tells me that I need to just adjust this. There's a swing low there, and it was a fractal. Let's just see if we got to that. We did get to that level. Okay, so these other levels here, let's get rid of them. Now what I want to do is I just want to look for another inside tail to the downside. Okay, that's not an inside tail, that's not an inside tail. Why? Because price hasn't closed below them yet. Okay, so my next lot of inside tails is going to be pretty much, let's take the fractal level. There's the fractal level there, and let's change this back. Just had to show something on the Dax. So we made it purple. Anyway, so that's our next inside bar, which is pretty much back to November last year. We have some gaps to the downside. We've got a pretty big gap here. Okay, and then we have another inside tail sitting right over. It's not quite an inside tail, but it is sort of a level. You can see how all these tails are on top of that level. So that's kind of what we are looking for. Oops, and there's another gap. Oh, there's another gap. Okay, I think that gives us enough for now. Right. So I'm still expecting more downside. I think that's pretty clear at the moment. I am a little bit concerned because we do have diversions brewing on the daily. Okay, and we are also moving quite far from the alligator at the moment. So we're getting diversions from the alligator. This here could be seen as a potential wise man number one, although I'd like to see the tail a bit longer. Okay, so this was a wise man number one. We did rally a little bit, but then we came back. Okay, so, and often what you're looking for when you're playing the wise man strategy with Bull-Williams is you're looking for lower time frame. So something like a 12, a 10, 12, 15, or 30-minute chart, because that'll give you the best return. But anyway, let's get down to some levels we can trade. I am still reluctant to hold overnight, so whatever trades are going in at the moment are coming out once target is hit or at the close of the session. Okay, so what do we have here on the 4 hour? We did get a pin bar off a level, okay, and a fairly significant level, and we got a pin bar off it. So that is our first warning shot. What we want to see now is I want to see a bit of a rally, come and test some breakouts, and then look for a move to the downside again. So the first breakout that's staring out at me is the low of yesterday. The low of last week. So these dotted lines represent the week on the 4 hour, and on the lower time frames it'll be the daily. So what we do have is a low of last week, which I want to see us come and test, and then there's a good opportunity for a short there. So let's get down to the 1 hour. That'll give us a little bit of clarity. Okay, at this stage you can see that this previous swing low has been tested to this morning already. Up, inside bar, and now we're running to the downside. So this is already setting up for a short. Okay, now if this pattern had happened during European session being open, I'd definitely be taking this as a short, come back to test this level. But for now, what we'll do is just wait and see what happens. Okay, so definitely looking for shorts, and what we can do is if we're down on the 12-minute, you can see there was our double top move to the downside. Now we do have a high, a lower high, and we're now pretty much bottom of range at the moment. So the range that I'm looking at, I start getting messy with all these lines, is pretty much there. You can see there were buyers stepping in there, came back, tested, and we gapped up, tested it. So those are my two levels I'm looking for. Okay, now looking at the 12 minutes, you can see the oscillators group to the downside. That's not an area to be short. Even if it does break down and come and close these gaps, and it's still not an area to be short. Then what you're looking for is a long, and you're looking for a long off a level, this would be the level, the most logical level. Okay, you do have these gaps as well. Okay, so for now, even if it does break below here, this is not a valid short for me. This worries me. The fact that this oscillator is like this. So what I'd like to see is a rally back up, and then take the short from higher up with a stop above these fractals. That would give us a far more decent risk to reward. Okay, so the level to the upside here is 23,793. Okay, you can also actually round it off to 2,400 as well. 2,400 would be a decent level. And I'm going to take us off the half hour, because for me half hour fractals are a little bit better. So if you were up early this morning, you would have seen oscillator grouping nicely off a level. Well, there's a level there. So it's still off a level. Inside bar, that was a short. Okay. So as it stands now, I'm not really interested in this right now, but I'd like to see a little bit more of a rally. Maybe come and test these levels again. So the two levels that I'm looking for us to go and test are 23,797 and 23,903, or alternatively 2,400, because that'll be a round number. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for another bit of a rally, and then we are short again. Just be cautious with your shorts, and the reason being is we do have quite a number of potential levels where buyers could step in, and it's difficult to know where everybody is sitting. Okay, but they'll be spread out on all of these different levels. Now, I'm not going to call them all out, because I think the critical thing that you need to do is go back in your charts, make sure your fractals are on, and draw your inside bars. Put the lines on every inside bar. This one is actually there. That one is there. There's my inside bar. There's my inside bar. Okay, not this one. We want where prices come past. Prices come past. That's the one you're looking for. That's the one you're looking for. And the last one here goes back even further, and there's more inside bars. Okay, so pick those up and draw them in, because it's going to be visual and it's going to tell you what's going on. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm expecting from this at the moment. I'm still expecting more downside. Bear in mind, we do have the Feds tomorrow, so what may happen is we may still meander to the downside while nobody's spending. In other words, everybody's just sitting out of the market, so we'll just meander to the downside, or alternatively we could just go into a holding pattern. So in other words, a range, and that could continue right up until tomorrow evening when the Feds make their rates decision announcement. Okay, so that's me for today. Watching the fractals to the upside. So pretty much the current high of today is a level. Okay, if we do break above that, then you can expect a bit more of upside, but you need to watch these levels. So you need to watch 23,900, and then ultimately you're going to watch 2,400. Double check on the hour, yeah. So you can see there's my inside tails, and look at that, we are moving to the downside. Okay, so yeah, that's my view of the world at the moment. If you asked short at the moment, no real reason to get out. I think just move your stop above the previous fractal on the hour, which is this one. This is going to be a fractal pretty soon. Another hour or so, it should hopefully be a fractal, which is going to be more downside. Okay, so that's my view for today. And like I said, a little bit skeptical about taking a short here because of the oscillator. I'd like to see it come back to the upside, and then I'm looking for shorts. Okay, so ultimately this oscillator must be grouped to the upside like this on a lower time frame. You can go for a 10, 12, 15 minute chart, and whenever it groups to the upside and is close to a level or on a level, there's a good probability that you can take that trade to the downside. Okay, trend is down, so you're trading with the trend. That's pretty much what the goal of the game is. Okay, so anyway, guys, I think that's it for me. One last thing, sorry, let's just have a quick look at the ichimoku because it does give us some indication of what's going on. So you can see 12 minute, we had a crossover, we're in the cloud, and we're flat, so that's ranging. We're flat, it's ranging, we are still in bearish territory. The hour is also in bearish territory, although this divergence between the two is not what I'm looking for. And 4 hour, we are quite far from the indicator, so, and we have a pin bar here, so I'd like to see a decent pullback on the 4 hour, all the way back up to somewhere up there, which is 24,050. That's kind of what I'd like to see there. And on the daily, trend is down, cloud is down, everything is down at the moment. So, although it is also quite far from Tekinson and Kijinson, so there's a lot of factors which are saying this thing is tired. Okay, sorry, it's just another strategy, two moving average strategy of mine, and this grouping that I have down here of all the oscillators is also an indication that this is tired. Something is going to happen, and it's also starting to brew on the weekly, and the monthly is nothing at the moment apart from this one. Last time that happened on the monthly, look what happened. Okay. Anyway, so while I'm at the monthly here, just have a look here. So this level that we're coming up to here that we have tagged already, a monthly close below this is pretty much going to be a range. Could be a range break, could be bottom of a range as well. So just be cautious, be very, very cautious. If we just take that level there, this is my inside tail, this one here. This month we came just past it, but that's my inside tail. Now, this could be seen as a massive engulfing bar. If we do get a monthly close below this previous fractal here, that could be rather telling, but it could also just be the bottom of the range. So in other words, we've rallied, and now this whole year we've just ranged as we consolidate. Is it a double top or is it a range? I think that's the question on everybody's mind right now. Okay, so anyway, I still think there is potential for the shorts, and just draw those levels in, because somewhere between 23 150 and 23 500 is where you're going to get buyers stepping in. Okay, so just be very cautious of that and watch out for that. Anyway, guys, that's me for the day. Looking for shorts and looking to take profit at these levels, not looking to hold on to the short, because it could very well bounce off somewhere in the bottom here. Okay, so that's it. Hope it helps, and I will catch up with you later. Cheers for now.